Hello, everyone. Hi. I am thrilled to be a part of this wonderful forum for sharing ideas here in the land of 10,000 lakes. See, I'm a lake person. I live near Lake Michigan, and I have such a strong connection to the Great Lakes that I feel not only that I am part of the Great Lakes ecosystem, but that the Great Lakes are also ingrained in me. So as I present today about a pressing issue in education, and one that drives the idea, the strategy I am so excited to share with you today, I will begin with a lake analogy. Lake Michigan possesses incredible beaches, waters that are shades of blue so stunning you think you're in the low latitudes, and powerful ocean-like waves. Looking out at the vastness, it is beautiful. But at times and certain places, that same view possesses a barely detectable danger: rip current. Moving as fast as 8 feet per second, a rip current is a channel of water caused by the buildup of pressure from waves hitting land and other barriers. A fast track, moving anything in it swiftly away from shore. The instinct for a swimmer caught in a rip current is to try to swim back to shore. As much as that seems to make sense, it's deadly. The current is too strong, and the harder the swimmer tries to fight against the current and get back to shore, the more fatigued they become and the farther away they get from their goal. Thankfully, on Lake Michigan, I've never seen someone caught in a rip current. However, even as I stand here in front of you today, I am caught in one now as a 6th grade teacher. The rip current I am in is student engagement, how invested in and how excited about learning our nation's children and young adults are. A 2013 Gallup poll of 500,000 learners showed that engagement declined steadily from middle to high school. Other polls in subsequent years of nearly 1 million students showed the same decline year after year. This chart from 2017 shows engagement declining in green while disengagement increases in gray. Now, at first glance, thinking back to a 16-year-old me, those statistics seem to make sense. At the time, shopping at the mall, the latest movie, getting my braces off, clearly were more interesting to me than school. But as a teacher, I consider what this means. Those polls measured the hope, engagement, and well-being of students, and when graphed, the results are alarming. A nearly directly proportional relationship is evident that the longer a student is in school, the less hope, less engagement, and less well-being they feel. There is a riptide of disengagement that begins with me, my 6th grade classroom. Middle school is where it starts. But I try. I swim against the riptide, right? We all do. We swim with a plethora of strategies, focusing hard on our content standards and the way they are presented, experienced, and assessed. Our standards and our efforts are great. So why do we have a problem with engagement in learning? Raise your hand if you know how to save yourself in a rip current. Okay, yes. Yes, you change your direction. Instead of trying to swim back to shore, you change directions in a way that doesn't seem to make sense. By swimming parallel to shore, you can get out of the current that is pulling you and back into regular water that you can manage. And there are many strategies that educators have used to try to increase engagement, but a new idea, a new direction that can take us out of the rip current is the explorer's mindset. Imagine if every learner from kindergarten through seniors and beyond saw themselves as an explorer of any topic or discipline, from as basic a stepping stone as learning phonics or math facts to as broad as an entire subject area, physics, English, art. An explorer even of tough issues facing society like plastic pollution, hunger, climate change. I recently had the opportunity to do some very unique exploring. As a Grosvenor Teacher Fellow with National Geographic and Lindblad Expeditions, I got to go on a 24-day expedition to the high Arctic of Canada and Greenland. Not only did I get to see the amazing environment of the Arctic, I got to meet amazing people on board the ship. Having already been exposed to the idea of the explorer's mindset from being a National Geographic certified educator like my colleagues here, I was already intrigued by the idea of how thinking like an explorer could help you learn. So I asked people, what does having the mindset of an explorer mean to you? Has it helped you? A key advantage I found was that the desire to know, to look around the corner and pursue interests were part of the process of exploration that helped people be happy and succeed. Part of that is to have an open mind about where things lead and be flexible too, ready with plan A, but also B, C, etc. An explorer will not try to fight against the rip current. An explorer adjusts and adapts their course. On the expedition, in a conversation with National Geographic photographer David Dublé about education, he said, schools should have the ability to direct your students' interests. I thought, we should. And why in the world don't we do more of that? We incorporate student interests, but it doesn't direct the curriculum. Standards do. Where is a process that, by design, discovers and directs students' interests where they are placed at least at an equal value to the standards? Some charter school models have that, but it is not part of mainstream structure. Remember the statistic on disengagement and that it starts in middle school and has a steady decline? David Dublé's comment makes me wonder, could part of it be that when students are developmentally ready to act on their interests, we marginalize those interests? The explorer's mindset is a lot bigger than my personal investigation, though. It is an outlook that comes from the learning framework of National Geographic Education, where they have, more thoroughly than my own inquiry, answered the question, what is the mindset of an explorer, and what does it look like in a formal or informal K-12 setting? The learning framework focuses on the development of attitudes and skills along with content. When we possess the mindset of an explorer, we have a curious attitude, seeking out new experiences with a drive to discover and understand. We are responsible, listening to others, looking at multiple perspectives, and understanding the structures that make things work. Explorers also have an attitude of empowerment. They take risks, have grit, persisting in the face of challenges with a growth mindset. Skills in the learning framework are observation, communication, collaboration, and problem solving. Now, I can't suddenly make the interests of students drive the curriculum, but what I can do is coach students to use the explorer's mindset to gather and build their interests as we go. My colleagues and I have created some tools to encourage this positive mindset and combined it with our existing school initiative on engagement. Consider this scenario, where a student is learning to multiply fractions. She's not just learning math. When we coach those attitudes and skills, she is in a role, an explorer of the world. Doesn't that make learning more exciting, personal, and meaningful? Add in these icons that represent growth that my teaching partner and I use. They're not from National Geographic Education, but work well with the concept of the explorer's mindset. Start out at seeds, develop roots, build connections and understanding, and finally mastery and expansion. Begin, grow, explore, and repeat. The learning environment of a classroom impacts engagement. And the explorer's mindset is a different direction we can take to help create a positive environment for learning. But really, to me, it's not just a mindset for learning. It's It's a mindset for life. So you're swimming, and you're getting pulled out farther and farther away from the shore you need to get to, whatever it is. What do you do? With either one tiny drop or an entire wave of bravery, it doesn't even matter how much, take your interests, coach your mindset, and go that different direction. Thank you.